Okay, so I have Ming, who's going to die next chapter. Crow and Hu Tao. A night funeral Gothic-themed cruiser. It's black and steel. Astaroth and Chris Walker. A Brutus spiked
Okay.
warship, reinforced armor. With a cargo hold meant for melee combat.
Splendid.
Do not board their ship.
Yeah.
Alfred and
That's
Sledge.
terrifying, actually.
What? Just they're meant for. They were gonna board your ship, kick your ass, and leave.
Yeah. It was Astaroth and Chris Walker, too. These giant, bald guys.
Let's see if I don't have other food real quick. Oh, I got candy. I got Skittles.
Yummy.
That was really weird.
The Skittles.
That was odd. Yeah, Alfred from Batman and Sledge from Rainbow. But there's Bane's name of their ship. Frost and Nanka now.
Frost from
Frankson, Warframe.
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra and General Grievous. Jazz themed interior. Minerva and Bigfoot.
I like that one.
It's moss covered and camouflaged. It's the middle of space.
You'll never find it.
Nobara and Peanut Man. Hammer Time is the name of the ship. It has a grappling ram and specialized compartments for close quarter attacks. I don't know, whoever the hell that is, and Rain, a reflective silver ship and lightweight hull. The Sultan and Monopoly Man. Opulent Doom, golden lavishly decorated cruiser with hidden cannons and false corridors. Crash Test Dummy and Yoda, a reinforced modular ship with the spring-loaded defense, crash-proof exteriors, and Yoda's meditation chamber. We both had okay. Do you have a Yeti? I have Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah. I added
And
the
then also
Yeti before I
Yoda.
suggested Bigfoot, too. That was just like, and I didn't do it on purpose either.
I know you didn't do it on purpose. And then it's also Yeti, or not Yeti, yeah, Yeti and General Grievous. Yoda and General Grievous.
Yeah. Someone really stupid.
Chris Walker Atlas, silent powerhouse, intellectual, and physically dominant. There's nothing smart that goes through that guy.
He reads books.
Crow and Hotel immediately clash with the Astaroth with Chris Walker near fractured battle station, leading to their first minor skirmishes. Alfred positions traps on the Butler's Bane to catch him when boarding. Frost and Nino discover supply cache. Frank Sinatra sings soothingly to boost morale. There's nothing important that's like the first night. It's just mainly just descriptions.
I see.
What the heck? Okay. Sorry,
Okay.
it's arguing with me.
Mm-hmm. It does that.
The duo Crow and Hotel pilot the night beam run to wrecked grab drive core. Hotel drifting to the corridors. Her playful smile contrasts with the silent ruin. Minerva and Bigfoot stalk on the side of a crashed destroyer. Midday, a huge explosion rocks in central cruisers. Ming has tampered with the grav drive's capacitor bank, hoping to siphon power, but the sequence backfires. An unstable flux cascades propels a massive fragment outward, being sensors ping. Da-da-da. Ming is dead.
All right.
Meanwhile, Crow and Huta witness the explosion from afar. Huta is excited at the spectacle of disaster, grins and applauds. Crow frowns. Minerva and Bigfoot see the tremor of the blast and decide to move in for scavenging technology. As they approach, Bigfoot slips on an ice shard inside the wreck, triggering a hidden mine laid. What? Oh, they're both on the ships, though. Yeah, they land on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
They decide to move into for scavenging ship. They approach. Bigfoot slips on an icy shard inside the wreck's tilt-angled hole, triggering a hidden mine laid by Alfred and Sledge earlier. They anticipating someone moving into that zone. The explosion injures Bigfoot severely. Minerva tries to heal him, her signature tendency, but the environment ripples her healing, causing to trigger the secondary reactor meltdown. Seeing fires and debris ripping throughout the hangar. Bigfoot dies in a blast. Minerva, shaken but alive, staggers out. The explosion draws attention to Frost and Nino scanning nearby. They're are caught off guard when drifting debris plate collapses on Nina's leg, crushing her. Frost rushes to free her, but the whole segment continues to shift. Frost sacrifices his freezing cloak to slow down the crush, but suffers fatal damage. They're both dead. Meanwhile, crash test dummy convinced he can survive any impact, rigs an inert reactor to self-test for fun. Data calmly supervises. Unexpectedly, the system goes critical and shockwave blasts outwards. The crash test dummy is flung from the ship and mangled by a ruptured hull plate. Yoda is shaken but protected by a force meditate. Watches solemnly. Blah blah blah. Night 3. Darkness blankets the field. The survivors gather silently, each looking their wounds and counting losses. Minerva, haunted, wanders through the wreckage, blaming herself for the catastrophe. Hutal dances on her ship deck, talking poetry about death and rebirth. Crow stands vigilant. Day 4. The survivors awakened by a hazard, drifting firestorms, plasma bursts from Russian energy cores, and continue to generate arcs of fire through the breeze. Ming has ruined everything. My lord.
Yay.
The overloaded core cascades. The ships and hull fragments erupt randomly for hours, displacing teams and forcing them to dangerous maneuvers. During the frenzy, the Sultan and Monopoly Man rush to secure a floating treasury vault illuminated by plasma fires. Monopoly Man's caught on top of the vault as a fire arc scorches the access port. Monopoly Man is caught and burned in the explosion. He is dead. The Sultan watches in horror as his lackey dies, then orders a hasty retreat to himself. On the Silver Shadow, whoever the hell and Rain are caught in debris plume. Rain sacrifices himself, shielding Kurekina, I don't know how to pronounce that, Kiranagi from an armored hull fragment which falls downward. Rain is dead. And elsewhere, Spider-Man and Guzma
Mm-hmm.
Who's that?
It's from Pokemon.
Oh. Guzma swing through the chaos. They spot Minerva staggering from the wreck. Spider-Man attempts to assist, but Plasma Flare knocks them both off board. Guzman uses the improvised traps to cushion his landing, but Spider-Man is slammed into drift antenna mass. He dies instantly. Holy shit.
Crazy.
Sources for Chapter 3. The ReZero Wiki.
Okay.
Or Chapter 2,
Why
sorry.
do you need sources?
I don't know. It just randomly did that. The debris field lies eerily quiet as a catastrophe at the core. Crone, Hu Tao maneuver of night funeral a triangle of fragmented battle through a triangle of fragmented battle cruisers. Hu Tao giggles at the eerie silence. Crow grits his teeth, scanning for hazards. Their prior skirmishes with Astaroth and Chris Walker have both teams worry. Astaroth and Chris Walker patrol Demon's Hell, using their twisted metal of destroyed ships as cover. Astaroth has his strength, ripping a floating engine fragment in half, while Chris keeps calm watch, observing the energy signatures from the other survivors. He has no idea what he's doing.
I don't care. I love,
No, it's just
I love Astaroth and Chris Walker. It's just like brutal space warriors.
especially Chris Walker's looking at like a fucking computer screen, not knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Looking for energy signatures. All right, these are them.
I don't know. They're forced to be reckoned with, though. Their plan is to just get like smaller ships inside them and just like beat people to death.
That's what I'm saying. This capture other ships. And
Yeah.
such a funny design.
True.
Alfred and Sledge carefully salvage energy cores from a nearby destroyer, ensuring traps are reset. Alfred's keen eye spots a plasma leak. They avoid a potential death trap that could have claimed them. Minerva wanders cautiously, haunted by the blast that killed Bigfoot. Night 6. Destroyers regrouping in scattered pockets of debris. Minerva and Katara exchange wary nods, but both experience enough to respect each other's abilities. Hu Tao's laughter echoes through the wreckage of Crow's size. Goosebump reports small debris collapse near Old Hangar Bay. Okay, there's no deaths this chapter. This was just a nothing burger.
I see.
Why is it being so fucking touch and go? Crow and Hu Tao decide to take the offensive, using Night Funeral's moving jets to glide towards a partially collapsed cruiser housing Astaroth Chris Walker. Crow's sights cuts through the floating panel, creating cover, while Hu Tao lasts and tosses small firing projectiles, igniting loose debris. Astaroth and Chris Walker, anticipating the attack, brace themselves. Astaroth swings the massive gauntlets, tearing through the floating shards, while Chris Walker uses his raw strength to throw debris at his attackers. The fight becomes brutal and chaotic. Minerva is still shaken from the previous events, attempts to avoid a clash, but then a falling energy Sorry, I'm just shaking from previous events, attempts to avoid the clash, but falling energy strut slams down into her midsection as she maneuvers the wreck. Despite her skill, she is pinned underneath the way and crushed. Chris Walker basically throws something and misses and hits Minerva.
I see.
Katara and Yeti find themselves caught between the two converging groups of debris triggered by Crow and Hu Tao's initial assault. The Yeti struggles to hold off falling beams, while Katara bends water to stabilize the ice bridges. But suddenly, plasma burst fires part of their makeshift platform. Yeti dies. Or fries, sorry.
No.
Offridge and Sledge spot the Sutan scavenging an exposed turret. Offred calculates the precise maneuver. Sledge launches a controlled breaching strike, collapsing part of the debris on the Sutan. The Sutan attempts to dodge, but is pinned by a jagged steel beam. The Sutan dies, leaving Monopoly Man gone from...
What?
Leaving, that's it. Monopoly Man's already gone for Chapter 2,
Yeah,
so their
yeah.
team's done.
Yeah.
Crow and Hu Tao and Ashraf remain locked in brutal cat-and-mouse game, leaping across debris, firing improvised projectiles. Hu Tao narrowly avoids a crushing slab, while Crow is grazed by falling sparks. Frank Sinatra, John Grievous decide to stay out of the central fighting, drifting above the chaos. Kiro Nyagani moves cautiously along the narrow hole path, witnessing Crow and Hu Tao's clash. Spider-Man's back, apparently. The debris, he's the only one I think that's come back to life, though, so I mean, I don't care. Like,
Yeah,
his death was random anyways.
It was.
He just falls into an antenna and dies.
Yeah.
The debris continue to shift, losing energy course, intermediately creating hazards and forcing combatants to improvise. Spider-Man and Guzma recover from earlier injuries. He recovered from death to ambush Astaroth from above. Guzma throws debris as a distraction as Spider-Man swings with webbing. Astaroth counters, but slightly wounded in the struggle. Chris Walker grabs Spider-Man mid-swing, slamming into a broken corridor. He dies from the impact.
Just to die. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I just remembered. Okay, hold on. Crow noticing Astaroth's distracted, presses the attack with Hu Tao. She ignites another corridor, forcing Astaroth to leap away. He falls awkwardly into a jagged hull fragment, bruised and struggling. He retreats but survives. Katara, determined, uses warp bending to create a barrier across the collapsing bridge to protect herself and her dead ally.
Dead Yeti.
Yeah. Alfred and Sledge move past the chaos, spotting the wounded Kiragini and debating whether to attack. They hold off. Did she just die? No, she didn't.
No.
Never mind. That's the Sutan.
Yeah.
Chapter 5. Crow and Hu Tao attempt to take out Astaroth and Chris Walker by hurling them towards a collapsing corridor. Hu Tao laughs manically, tossing small fire orbs to push debris. Crow swings his scythe, trying to control the flow. Astaroth uses sheer strength to block Hu Tao's flames, while Chris Walker hurls metallic slabs back at Crow. The clash is brutal, but the falling hole plate pins Crow, leaving Hu Tao alone exposed. Hu Tao dies with a sharp hole fragment pierces the coffin of the night funeral. Astaroth and Chris Walker now free of Crow and Hu Tao's harassment.
Good.
They both died. It just didn't highlight that Crow died.
Oh, yeah. I figured.
It didn't highlight that he just got pinned and died, I assume. Okay, that's bullshit. I'm redoing this.
Do it.
It just says after they get done fighting, Astaroth jumps, miscalculates, and gets impaled on a spike.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Okay, I'm specifying all deaths must be by other contestants. Crow and Hu Tao attempt a flank maneuver against Astroff and Chris Walker. Hu Tao giggles igniting small fires while Crow swings his sight at Astroff. Chris Walker grabs Hu Tao mid-leap and hurls her into a floating hole, knocking her unconscious. She dies from impact though as well. Okay, so much for knocking her out. Crow, enraged but now alone, retreats to a higher fragment in the hole. Alfred and Sledge spot Katara traversing narrow debris bridges. Sledge launches a grappling hook across the gap, pulling Katara towards them. Katara bends forward to escape, but Alfred anticipates her movements and strikes precisely, knocking her off the bridge.
Shit.
Guzma, seeing the chaos, attempts to ambush Frank Sinatra and Grievous from above. Frank's surprisingly agile, fires a concealed laser pistol, grazing Guzma.
Right.
Grievous lunges toward catching Guzma mid-swing. In the scuffle, Guzma is thrown across the breeze and impaled on a jagged hole fragment. Guzma dies. Astroff and Chris Walker regroup on Demon's Howl. They confront Crow, now alone in a half-collapsed cruiser. Astroff strikes first, but Crow dodges and counterattacks, wounding Chris Walker. Astroff tries to block Crow's attacks, but is caught off guard. Chris Walker moves to intervene, but only for Astroff to accidentally collide with him during their miscalculated swings.
I see.
Astroff dies in the crossfire from his own teammates. Crow, now severely wounded, escapes to a nearby shipwreck, but Alfred and Sledge are closing in with heavy weapons. Of course they would kill each other somehow.
Yeah, true. That does actually make sense.
Frank Sinatra intercepts Crow. Sinatra uses clever distractions and Grievous lunges. And Grievous lunges with forearms, striking him with lethal precision. Crow is fight bravely, but outmatched by a coordinated attack. Crow dies. Alfred and Sledge move in to finish Chris Walker, who's injured but still alive. Chris Walker lunges desperately at Alfred. Sledge shoots, striking Chris Walker fatally. He dies. Frank Sinatra and Grievous now confront Alfred and Sledge. Brutal fight erupts. The skeletal remains of a cruiser. Alfred uses tactical acrobats, but Sledge's brute strength is matched by Grievous's matched by Grievous's forearm strength. Grievous catches Sledge mid-swing and throws him into a fractured hole. Sledge dies. Alfred hesitates just for a moment, giving Frank Sinatra the time to shoot him.
Everyone's just killing people by throwing them into walls.
Well, it's space, and also it's that is one thing.
Yeah.
And also strength is like weird in space, or like impact is weird in space. With the battlefield silent, except for the sparks ejecting the breeze, only Frank Sinatra and General Grievous remain. Sinatra, using charismatic cunning, guides Grievous into an ambush trap he rigged moments earlier, carefully manipulating the final collapse of the floating hole section. Grievous caught off balance. Sinatra strikes with a concealed energy pistol.
Fuck yeah.
Frank Sinatra wins.
Wait, that was the last one?
Yeah.
I swear there were more people that were alive just now.
Yeah, Yoda was alive. Peanut Man and Obara.
Yeah, Katara was alive.
No, Katara died. She got thrown into a hole.
Oh, no, you're right. Sledge was alive. Sledge and Alfred were alive.
They died. They were the last two to die from General Grievous.
Wait, I thought Alfred was still alive.
I said Alfred got shot because he hesitated for a moment, and giving Frank Sinatra time to shoot him.
Yeah, Chris Walker died.
Frost, and they already died. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just like 3 people who aren't there, I think.
Yeah.
Regardless.